Hello everyone. Hope you guys are doing great today. In my today's video, I'm going to talk to you about a new company which recently came with its IPO in January 2026. The company name is Shadowfax Technologies Ltd. So we'll go through their business model and understand what do they actually do. And I think this part of the video would be slightly longer because I'm covering this company for the first time. So I'll go, the business model in slight detail. Then we'll go through their results as we normally do, and then we'll go through their con call details also. So if you look at this company, right, so they are a third-party logistics company, and the reason why they're called third-party logistics is because they are not the ones, making the products and then supplying it and then delivering to the customer. They don't do all that. All they do is right. They take the product from the manufacturer or the one who is selling it and deliver it to the customer. So they are the middlemen. That's why they call third party logistics because they're neither the first party nor the second party. That's why they're called third party logistics in a short. So if you look at their services, right, their services divided into three parts: express parcel, hyperlocal, and other logistics. So we'll first look at the express parcel because this is their major business, and almost if you look at the overall revenue, 75 to around 75% of the revenue comes from this business. So in express parcel also it is divided into three parts. One is forward parcel deliveries, second is reverse pickup and hand in hand exchange, third is prime deliveries. So over here what happens, right? So whenever people order online, whether it's from Amazon, Flipkart, Meesho, Nykaa, right? So they place the orders, and then once they receive these orders right through their sorting centers and everything, they take these products and send it to their warehouses, and from there it gets delivered to the customers within the period of 1 to 4 days. So that is the forward parcel deliveries. Second, the third which I told you in this is prime deliveries. Prime delivery is nothing but it's where they ensure that the delivery happens within a day. And I think most of us being in India, we are part of Amazon Prime. So where we get the deliveries within 1 day. So that is the second part. And the third is reverse pickup and hand in hand exchange. And I think we have done this a lot of time, right? We order a product when we don't like it, we say reverse pickup. And obviously in reverse pickup we have two options. Either we just deliver the product and get the refund back, or we say, okay, this is not a good product, give me a different product. So this is the other services that they provide. So these are the main three services in express parcel. Then the second part of the services that they provide is hyperlocal. So over here, first is quick commerce and on-demand hyperlocal delivery. So here, the deliveries that they do is Zepto, Blinkit, Big Basket, Flipkart Minute, Swiggy. So these are their main customers. From they help them to deliver their products to us. So like we all, I think, living in big cities or whether in even in small cities, right? We all nowadays order our groceries through either to Swiggy, Blinkit, Big Basket. And what the other thing that they've done, they've now added Amazon now also as their client. And the second part is food and on delivery, on demand delivery. So what is the difference between food and on delivery demand? Food is related to whatever we order from Zomato or a Swiggy, and on demand delivery is our ones. For example, if I give you Licious, right? If you want to order meat, you place an order on the Licious app, right? So who delivers to us? Shadowfax is one of the is a company which deliver these products to us. And the third is mobility services. So over here, if you look at it, right, currently this mobility services they provide only is for two-wheeler based mobility services. Wherever uh, even though the app is belongs to the Uber, for example, right? But the person who's coming on the bike to pick the customer and drop the customer belongs to Shadowfax. So these are the main two businesses, right, and which contribute to majority of the revenue. The third part of the services, which is other logistics, includes critical logistics, dark store operations, and strategic insourcing of unbundled services. These are the main. And critical, it's mainly related to how to put it. It's mainly related to deliveries of very critical components related to hospitals or medical equipments. And we look at the type of companies who are their customers, right? So if you look at the type of companies, first is horizontal and non-horizontal e-commerce. So you might be, I mean, this is when I was researching about the company, first time I heard about horizontal and non-horizontal e-commerce. So the main difference is like horizontal means the companies which sell all various kinds of product on their platform. If we can take Amazon, we can take Flipkart. They are like this store where they sell whether you want shirt, whether you want bag, whether you want, you know, shows everything they do. And the non-horizontal e-commerce platforms are the ones, clients are the ones which they sell only one kind of product. For example, let's take Nika, right? We all know that if we go to Nika, we will get only makeup and the beauty products, nothing else. So these are the second is obviously quick commerce, which includes Zepto, Blinkit, Swiggy, Big Basket, Flipkart Minutes, Amazon Now, and then the third kind of company is food marketplace. Again, it's Swiggy and Zomato main, and then the third is on-demand mobility companies, which is mainly for the two-wheelers as of now. So this is the main, that's what their business is, and obviously at the back of it, they charge their commissions and they earn money at the back of it. And if you look at their operating network, right? So if you look at their touch points, they have close to around 4,700 touch points, and out of 19,300 pin code in India, they currently operate under 15,656 pin code. If you look at their, overall operation space, they have currently around 4.7 million square feet of space. And if we look at their trucks, which they use to deliver these products and everything, they have around 3,500 trucks. But these trucks are not owned by the company; they are all on a lease basis. And if you look at their mid-mile network, right, in between where they deliver the product and from where it is sorted out, it's around 22 lakh operation space. And in the last mile network, right, which is their main thing, because this is a company which helps companies, delivering the product till the customer. So they have, if you look at their average quarterly unique transacting, how to say, the delivery guys, right, they have around 2.6 lakhs, delivery boys like that. And the other thing which I wanted to share about this, right? I was going through the, the when they before issuing the IPO, they had they given their DHRP, right? So one of the things which caught my eyes was the customer concentration. So if we take the numbers from FY25, right? So their largest client contributed to 48% of the revenue. Top five clients contributed to around 75% of the revenue, and the top 10 clients contributed to around 86% of the revenue. So if we look over here, so they have a quite a big customer concentration. So which for me can be a risk if something goes wrong with the customer. But at the same time, if we look in the market, right, there are not as many third-party logistics which are as huge as Shadowfax. And at the same time, when a company which has been working with Shadowfax for such a long time and getting all the great services and develop such a big partnership, I think it's difficult to, how to say, uh, to move to other logistics. So it can be a risk, but I don't see uh, that of happening at this point of time. At the same time, as I told you, right, they came out with the IPO in January, right? So they raised they raised around, I think, close to around 1,900 crores. If I'm correct, I'll cross check again and mention in the comment. So the main purpose of this IPO, right, was to raise money to, obviously, they required money to expand their network and infrastructure, then obviously to make payments to these for branding, for marketing and everything, and obviously at the same time to do acquisition. So this was the main reason. So I hope you guys are now clear what the company does and what is their business into, right? And the unique thing about this company, right, is, right, it's like they serve all the big e-commerce and quick commerce companies, right? So for whether Swiggy, how to say, volume increase, or Blinkit's volume increase, or Zomato's volume, or Zepto's volume increase. In the end, the benefit still comes to Shadowfax. So it doesn't really matter to them because they are catering to all these big guys which are part of the quick commerce and e-commerce platform. And if you look at their result, right, especially the Q4 FY26, their revenue increased by almost close to 73.6% to 1,237 crores, and PAT was almost up by 648% to 56 crores, because last year they made a loss. And if you look at the whole year of FY26, right, the revenue increased by around 69% to 4,200 crores, and PAT was up by almost close to 1,744% to 115 crores. And if you look at their, EBITDA, adjusted EBITDA margin, right? Last year it was around 0.7%. For the whole year, it became 4 point, sorry, for the Q4 FY26, it was 0.7%. This quarter, it increased to 4.7%. And if you look at their PAT margin, that also improved to around 4.5%. And if you look at their, how to say, segment-wise revenue breakdown, right, for the whole year of FY26, as I said, you express parcel is their main business. So it contributed to around 3,041 crores, which is around 7% of the total revenue. And Hyperlocal contributed to around 795 crore, which is around how to say 15 to 20% of the revenue. And if you look at the main highlights, right? So one of the things which they said, right? If you look at this quarter of Q4 26, they did express order delivery of almost 18.4 crores. And if you look at the whole year of FY26, they did a total order delivery of around 72.6 crores orders, which was almost like a volume growth of around 76%. And obviously, we can see that at the back of this volume growth, they were able to grow their revenue also. And if you look at their delivery partners, right, active delivery partners, it has increased to around 2.3 lakh. And this is one of the most important things that they need to concentrate on. No matter how much technology they might have, no matter, the storing centers, the warehouses, if they do not have the right amount of delivery partners, they will not be able to, complete the services which they are giving to this company. So if you look at the delivery partners, it has grown by almost 52.8%. In terms of touch point, it in the Q at the half year of FY26, it was around 4,200. In the last 6 months, they have added around another 500 touch points. And another thing what the management said, right, which is quite interesting, they said in the next 2 to 3 years, they will continue gaining market share in the express parcel market. Because if you look at this category, right, 4 years back, they had a market share of around 8%. Now the market share has increased to around 27 to, how to say, 29%. It's almost grown by close to around, if I take it, around 7 times. And other thing what they said, right, because of the scale that they're getting and the cost optimization that are happening, what they are seeing is, right, the weak players who are small players, they are getting out of this business, and obviously the big players are getting bigger and bigger. And if you look at the growth, right, the question was asked about the growth. So management said that they have 5 strategies, right? So I'll divide that in this video. So first is their focus on D2C and SME. So D2C is nothing but direct to customer and small medium enterprises. So there are so many platforms where they directly sell their product to the customer. They do not go through Amazon or Flipkart, other platforms. So what? So the management wants to capture, market share over here. And one of the other reason that they want to capture the market share over here is, right, because they said that the margin is almost 15 to 20% higher over here compared to what they can charge to these big enterprises, right? So over here, what they have done, they have launched a platform called a Shadowfax 360, where any a small seller or small retailer can get onboarded and start shipping the product across the country, all over India. And in order to gain more sellers and retailers, what they have done, they have onboarded more people into their sales team, which has increased to almost 100, and they have opened sales offices in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And if you look at their second strategy, right, it's into how to say, into express parcel only, but into the large products. So currently they deliver these products which are small, but they are looking into white goods and heavy shipping, like a big equipments which they are able to deliver. So over here, what they are trying to do, right, currently in this kind of category, they service only around, even though they have around they cover around close to 15,000 pin codes, but in this category they service only around 6,000 pin codes in India. And what they are trying to do, right, expand that to 10,000 pin codes in by FY27. So it's like a growth of almost 80%. And another reason that they're concentrating over here is because the margins are much more higher compared to the other product. And one of the other reason which the management gave, right, which I really liked it, is that they said, right, it's not like they were wanted to expand this, but what is happening, the demand is so much that the customers were only asking, to expand this services. So the demand is pulling them in. And if you look at the growth which happened in FY26, especially in this segment, it grew by almost 3 to 4 times. So there is a huge scope in this. And the third is obviously expanding their pin code coverage. So in India, as I said earlier, right, we have around 19,300 pin codes. Currently, they service around 15,600 pin codes. For FY27, their target is to increase this number to 17,000. And by FY28, they want to cover all the pin codes. So like hopefully by end of FY28, Shadowfax will be covering all the pin codes all over India. And the fourth category, right, or the fourth strategy they have is like vertical quick commerce. So you might be asking, Masood, what is the difference between this quick commerce and the other quick commerce? If you look, as I gave the difference between horizontal e-commerce company and non-horizontal e-commerce company, same is the difference. So horizontal quick commerce company are like a Blinkit, Zepto, Big Basket, where they serve multiple different kinds of products to the customer. But vertical quick commerce are the companies are which this sell products only in one category. Like for example, only apparels, only shoes, or you can say only jewelry. So this is where they are trying to concentrate. And the kinds of product or the companies that they're looking at, they deliver products like premium groceries, gourmet food, childcare, fashion every day. So in this category currently they have 15 dark stores, and they plan to increase that to 100 dark stores in FY27. So you can look at that, they're so bullish, they're literally trying to increase the number of dark stores by almost close to 7 to 8 times. And the last strategy is acquisition. So they want to do acquisition wherever it is feasible and which could, how to say, benefit the company. So currently they did an acquisition of a company called Critical Log. They bought 100% of the company. Over here, this company serves close to around 500 customers, and they especially, and the specialities they serve this customer in high value segment like jewelry, luxury apparels, and electronics. So these are the main five strategies that they are doing to grow. And in terms of capex, if we see right for the year of FY26, the capex was around 4.4% of the revenue of FY26, which comes up to around 185 crores. Almost close to 70% of this capex went into network and automation, 12% went into technology development, 14% went into geographical expansion, and 5% is to obviously run the business of which is related to administrative expense. For FY27, the capex would slightly slow down because in terms if you compare to the revenue, it will be only around 2.5% to 3.5% of the revenue. So in terms of, I think, percentage wise, it will come down because as the revenue will increase, the capex will almost remains the same. And one of the other thing what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to build up sorting centers where they do every, sorting, getting the product, and setting out for deliveries under one roof, right? So what they have done, they have recently started their largest sorting center called One NCR in the NCR region. And at the back of this, they have get much better operating leverage, and the customer experience has improved. So what the company is trying to say, they're going forward, they're going to set up more such things in the future. And the other comment which the management gave was on AI, right? So they clearly said that AI is a major game changer, and in every area of the company, what the company is working, right? They're adopting AI every day, and it is already giving benefits, and it's going to be very beneficial in the future. The only thing what the management said that the AI cannot replace is the delivery guy, because that's cannot be done by technology at all. It has to be done by these delivery guys also. In terms of guidance, if we see, the management is cautious and guiding only for around 28% to 38% of the revenue growth. But I personally feel the way the quick commerce, and e-commerce is grown in India, I think they can easily do more than that. But we have to wait and see. If you look at the overall business, right, and the overall company and what is the future prospect, I think it's quite good because they are one of the largest. They are gaining market share, and they are doing all the right thing. Yeah, in terms of valuation, people might say, Masood, the valuation is quite high. Should we wait? But I would say when the company and when a company is doing something differently from other logistics company, and they're into this new kind of e-commerce and quick commerce, I think we need to look what can happen in future, not what is happening right now. Okay, at this time, if you look at the valuation, might look expensive, but what will happen 3 years or 4 years down the line, we don't know. And the way things are expanding, if it can expand, this valuation would look cheap, you know, 3 years, 4 years down the line. So I think we need to look from that perspective, because personally, I made that mistake with Zomato, which is eternal now right now, right? Earlier, I never invested thinking that it is too expensive. Even though when my friend were also investing and they gave me the logic, I didn't agree with it. But now what I have seen and how things have changed, I realize sometimes, you know, in the new platform, new technology, you have to give them a chance. So I think if the company does what they are planning to do and expands at such rate, right, this valuation will not matter at all in future. And if you like the analysis and the video, please do hit like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and God